Now there's another transportation assignment type question called transshipment, and it's just a little more complicated. Same concept is going on here. Sometimes I have them draw the network themselves, and other times I include the network. So here we're producing topsoil from farms A, B, and C, and they're going to warehouse 1 and 2, and they cannot stay in the warehouse. That's just a stopover, and then they're being distributed to projects 1, 2, and 3. And there's an extra one here. It says the warehouses 4 and 5 can ship between each other at a cost of 3 units. So we need to put that one in. And Farm A can ship directly to Project 1 at the cost of 6. So that was just to be sure that they knew how to add them on. So let me just make sure that I include that in my picture here. So well, there is really no shortcut for these. So let me get a new screen and see if I can so here we go. I have started by putting the values in already, but you can see I also need over here so just so I will be using this pen here. Hope I can override. So let's just see how, so what I need to add. I need to add warehouse 1 to warehouse 2. And I also need to add warehouse 2 to warehouse 1. And I also need to add farm 1 to project 1. Okay, and again, your choice of how you set this up, but you can see that we got lots of work to do. So let's put the values in. And so this is 3, 2, 4, 3, 2.5, 3.5, and then 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 5. And then these were both 3s, and the last one was 6. Okay. So we now want to highlight. So we want to highlight from, let's just from here, as usual, over to the end. I'm going to fill it in with yellow. And then I'm going to do my Z. So this is Z min. It's transportation. I want it to be the least amount. So let's equals some product. And it's this row, comma, this row. So in here, it's going to be equal some product. And I'm using this one, comma, and the yellow one. So that's going to be B3 colon P3. And again, you know if it's right if that's not a zero. Okay, so now we need to look at the constraints, and now we have an extra set of constraints on this one because we can't stop at the warehouse. So let's first of all talk about the supply. So there's a 1 there. Okay, so this is going to be far more difficult to do than I thought. Okay. So we're going to choose the values, all that are coming out of F1. So there's 1 there. There's 1 there. And then all the way to the end. And those must be less than or equal to, oops, so less than or equal to, and I've already forgotten what the supply was, so 100, 200, and so less than or equal to here as well. And less than or equal to. That's because, well, I think in this case all of them have to go. But when it comes to supply, it doesn't have to be that. So let's fix the next one. So now we're looking at F2, and all of F2 must total 200, and then let's look at F3. Okay, so all of those are looked after. Now let's look at the warehouses. So everything going into warehouse 1 will be a positive. That's how I'll set it up. So when W1 comes second, I'm going to make it a positive 1. So there's a 1 there. There's another 1. There's another 1. Now, when it comes first, I'm going to make it negative 1. And there's 1 here where it came first, and 1 where it came second. And all of that needs to equal 0 because we cannot leave anything in the warehouse. We're going to do the same thing for warehouse 2. So I'll do the same setup. 1 when it's leaving going into the warehouse. And, oops, a negative when it's leaving. And again, it must be empty. And up here, I got that one in. Okay, and the last ones are demand. We have to, that must be equal because we're talking about an order. So let's just get that one in. So the first one will be project 1. So all of the things going into project 1 and those must all equal 50. And project 2 again equaling, this time it's equaling 150. And the last one, project 3, So you can see if you make them all less than or equal to, your answer will end up being 0, because of course it'll be cheapest if you send nothing. That makes sense. Okay, so you want to control copy. And let's put it down here. Okay, now we need to write the restrictions in. And let's do that. Equals some product open brackets, and it's this one, comma, and RB3, and I'm going to do that myself for all the great work that this pen does. It's now having a problem. Wait. B3 colon P. Three. So the dollar signs are there again, so that I can drag my command. Okay, so one of the problems with this recording is that the pen is active in Microsoft Word and it's active in Smart Notebook, and I don't know how to turn off the pen. So my apologies, but anyway, I think I've done enough that you'll be able to get to see it. So data. Okay, so we know that we want our final answer there. We want this to be minimum. Our changing variables is this one. P3 2, P3. And our constraint will be E14 to E16 less than or equal to, and it will be G14 to G16. Add. And now we want 17 to 21. And we want simplex and solve. Tells us that there is a solution. Okay. And the solution, we know is going to be, let's see, $3050, and the values are here. So let me get a better type pen. So 3050 is minimum cost, and it's telling you F1W2 for 100 and F2W2 for 200, and farm 3 to warehouse 1 for 200. And then it tells you where the warehouse is, so you can check if you want to make sure these are empty. So that would be a complete solution that's done here. Wow, that was very difficult with both the pens working.